let's talk about it. But first, let's grab some coffee. You also could grab your Bible and something to write with. So in this video, we're going to be talking about Passover, unleavened bread, and first fruits. There are a lot of scriptures about Passover. But of course, the go-to for any of the feast days is Leviticus 23. So one thing I do want to point out is when you start out in Leviticus 23, it says that these are the appointed times of Yahuwah, which you are to proclaim as Kodesh gatherings, as holy gatherings. My appointed times are these. The reason I think this is important to note is because when we are grafted in to the house of Israel, we fall in covenant with the Most High. Therefore, his ways become our ways. This is much like if a father adopts a child into his household, you learn his ways. You learn the ways of your adopted father. So, of course, the first place you'll see Passover is in Exodus 12. So here's some of the rundown of Exodus 12. You can pause to read. Then you're actually commanded again in Exodus 23, as well as Leviticus and Deuteronomy. But much like we see in other places in the Bible, all of the information builds up throughout the verses. So we see in 1 Corinthians 5:7 that Yeshua was actually our Passover lamb. We also see in Luke 22 that he desired Passover. He kept his father's commands and stayed in his father's love. They were echad, so they were unified. So Passover starts on the 14th day of Abib, which is the first month of the biblical calendar. Right after that, unleavened bread begins, and of course we're supposed to get all the yeast out of our homes. And on the 1st and the 7th day, there is a Shabbat. And then there's first fruits. And we know that Yeshua was our Passover lamb. He was sinless, representing the unleavened bread. And then he also was first fruits. Every one of the Father's feast days represent an aspect of the Messiah. Much like looking through a prism, all the facets add together and make it more beautiful. Yeah, going through this life without reading the scriptures is like trying to put together an IKEA shelf without the instructions. Just don't do it.